Good morning to all of you. Welcome to the session, the Hindu Editorial Analysis for Proficiency in English. Today's editorial is related to Indian economy. It is all about a recovery when it comes to the manufacturing sector. When we talk about economy, usually we talk about two or three sectors. One is the manufacturing sector, the most important. Second is the service sector, that is also equally important. But this editorial talks about how the manufacturing sector has been doing for the last 4 months, in fact. And there are a lot of words, not too many words, but definitely important words are there because the article or the editorial is all about Indian economy. Besides the editorial analysis, today we are going to work on errors, fillers, parajumble, and editorial words. Is any problem with audio? I want you guys to respond. One or two students say, not audible. Give me a second. There's nothing wrong with the audio. Volume low. Is audio all right now? Please answer. No, no, wait for some time. I'm working on that. Am I audible? Is that loud and clear now? At my end, it seems all right. No sound. Please give me a second. Now you please answer my question. Is it loud and clear? Or still there is a problem? Audible, but no, mic is closed. That is not a problem. What I do every day, the same thing I'm doing. Not audible. How come? Here I don't see any problem. No, no, no. I want you guys, please wait for a few seconds or a few minutes. Let me check. Then you respond whether I'm audible, not audible. Still no. It says the volume is maximum. Still, there's a problem. Am I audible or not audible? Still no audio. Now is it okay? Someone says Venkata Raju says Rajulu. Now it is okay. Low voice. How come? Now it should not be a problem. Now you let me know. Am I loud and clear? Now it should be all right. Now it is perfect. Right. Thank God. Now let us go to, we have lost about 7 minutes. Fine. Thank you. Thank you very much. Today's editorial is an important editorial. It is all about Indian economy, the manufacturing sector, an important sector. And there are some words which go with economy. I always tell uh, any article, any editorial related to Indian economy, very important for two reasons. You may get the words in the exam, the same context, more or less. Not only that, you may get any editorial or article related to economy as a passage, as close test in prelims or mains. That way, very important. Let us go to the editorial vocabulary. The first word, faltering, we have got for the first time. What does it mean? Losing strength or momentum. Falter, lose strength or momentum. In this context, it means lose momentum or the pace. And also, no problem, flailing, another word, wave or swing wildly. In this context, swing wildly means ups and downs. A rebound, easy to make out. A recover in value, amount, or strength after a decrease or decline. Something goes down, decline, go down, and it bounces back. Then we use the word rebound. A resilience, an important word, and you all have to be resilient while preparing for competitive exams. What does it mean? The capacity to recover quickly from difficulties, that is one meaning. A resilient nature is nothing but being very tough. When you face a lot of problems, when you face a lot of hardships, you withstand and you face all the problems without losing your confidence. Then we use the word resilience, resilient nature. Taper off, we have got once or twice. Become thinner or narrower at one end. Initially broad or wide, slowly it becomes narrow. Then we say taper off. This goes with interest as well. Some people they have a lot of interest initially. After some time interest goes down, then we say the interest has tapered off. Hiccups goes with everyday English. Sometimes what happens while having food, you get hiccups, means you cannot breathe properly. The glottis here, it gets stuck. But in this context, the other meaning, what is the other meaning of the word hiccups? A temporary or minor problem or setback. In this context, a minor setback, bumped up, easy to make out, to move to a higher level, position, rank, etc. It is like bouncing back. Persistently, we have got many a time, in a persistent manner or continuously. persistent, continuous. Decipher, usually it goes with code language, convert into normal language, a text written in code or a coded signal. Decode, it is nothing but decode. Decipher the code means decode. Nascent, when we talk about this editorial, is all about manufacturing sector, that means industries, manufacturing industries. We use the word nascent. Nascent means what? Especially of a process or organization. In this context, industry, just coming into existence and beginning to display signs of future potential. Nascent industries. Pegged, it has many meanings. In this context, expected to do or be something based on an assumption or stereotype or past behavior. Based on the past behavior, you expect something to do something or behave in a particular manner. Then we use the word pegged. You all know the word tank, but here for the first time, we have got a new meaning of the word tank as a verb. Tank usually a noun, water tank. But here tanked means fail completely, especially at great financial cost. Because it is about the manufacturing sector, it is about the economy, it goes with the financial sector. Insipid, you have got once or twice, it's an important word. Lacking flavor, weak or tasteless. Another meaning, lackluster performance, that means lack of interest. Cramping, usually we use one expression, muscle cramps. Cramping in this context means inhibit the development of. Cramp in a way it means block, impede, hinder. Looming you have got many a time. Of an event regarded as threatening, seem about to happen, something that is bad or negative or threatening about it seems to happen, then we use the word looming large. Rose tinted. Still, there is a problem. Voice. Someone says again, voice. Is there any problem with the audio again? Rose tinted, excessively optimistic. The last one, billowing. It has two or three meanings. In this context of smoke, cloud, or stream, moving or flowing outwards with an undulating motion. Usually it goes with factories. No, no, please check your settings. Other students say there's no problem, so perhaps at your end there's a problem, not at my end. So today's editorial not easy to comprehend. One of the reasons it belongs to Indian, it is about Indian economy, the manufacturing sector. One more reason, it provides a lot of statistical data, and you have to know what happened in the past, last year, before in 2020, then last year 21, now present, the new year in the sense 2022. So it is not that easy to comprehend, but I will try to make it. I cannot go deep into it. One of the reasons you have to have the facts and figures at your fingertips, one thing. And in this editorial, basically, it provides a statistical data to justify certain statements. Let's see how it starts. A faltering recovery. First, you have to know no, no, Bhaskar, there's a problem at your end, not my end. Please check your settings. When all the students except one or two say there's a problem, that means the problem is not at my end, the problem is at your end. So, faltering recovery, falter means what? Losing strength or momentum. In this context, it means losing the momentum. After COVID, the lockdown restrictions, economy has started going up, but now there's a pace, momentum, pace. Now it is being lost. What is the main idea of this editorial? Flailing factory output, because the editorial talks about the manufacturing sector, factory output, trends suggests a rebound in the economy is slow. It is on a negative note. Basically, or in a nutshell, this editorial talks about on the one hand, you have this optimism from the government. On the other hand, the editorial says all is not that good. All is not that good, and there are problems when it comes to the manufacturing sector. It's all about that. And to justify that stand, editorial provides a lot of statistical data. There is one word here, flailing. I've said many a time, Bhaskar, don't say the same thing repeatedly. Please check your settings. Other students say there's no problem, so you please check your settings. Flailing, wave or swing wildly. In this context, swing wildly. That means what? Up and downs, ups and downs. Flailing factory output trends suggest the rebound in the economy is slow. Rebound, recover in value, amount, or strength after a decrease or decline, and it is slow. It is on a negative note. As I said, the main idea of the editorial is rather negative. And on the one hand, the government has projected a positive image, but the editorial says it is not all that positive. There are certain limitations or problems. And to substantiate that statement, data has been presented. Production levels. Now it has to talk about the production, manufacturing sector. Production levels in India's industries appear to be hitting a roadblock amid what the government has described in the union budget as an overall sharp rebound and recovery of the economy, reflecting the country's strong resilience. As I said, the entire editorial depends on this particular sentence you can say. On the one hand, the editorial says production levels in India's industries appear to be hitting a roadblock. A roadblock is not something like a dead end. There is one expression, cul-de-sac. Cul-de-sac means a road with a dead end. Here, roadblock means you cannot go beyond that. Amid already have got this word in the middle of what the government has described in the union budget as an overall sharp rebound and recovery of the economy. The government says in its union budget presentation of the union budget, the government has described progress of Indian economy as an overall sharp rebound and recovery of the economy, something positive reflecting. So economy is everything looks positive, a sharp rebound and recovery of the economy. It reflects something. What does it reflect? Countries strong resilience. There's one important word. What is that word? Resilience. And while preparing for competitive exams, you guys have to be resilient. That's an important word. It goes with you people. So what does it mean? The capacity to recover quickly from difficulties. When you face a lot of problems, usually you try to give up. You, in the sense, human nature. But some people, irrespective of the problems, irrespective of the hardships, they fight and they emerge victorious. Then we use, they're very tough. It means what? They're very tough. Then we use a word, they are very resilient. Resilient nature is important while doing something difficult because you may face a lot of problems. So the government says there is progress, and this progress reflects country's strong resilience or resilient nature on the one hand. On the other hand, production levels have hit a roadblock. That's what the other on the other side the editorial talks about. Factory now it has to substantiate factory output as measured by the IIP fell for the fourth straight month in December 2021 to a 10-month low of 0.4% compared to the same month in 2020. Now it is all about comparisons and whether the economy is progressing or not progressing. While the Omicron variant had become a worry by then, its impact was limited to contact intensive services sectors. There was a threat. What was the threat? The threat of Omicron. While the Omicron variant had become a worry by then, threat or worry or concern, its impact was not wide. Its impact was limited to contact intensive service sectors. See, usually I say when you come across an article related to Indian economy, definitely you have to spend more time. What is the reason? Imagine in the descriptive English, they ask a passage related to, write an essay related to Indian economy. All these expressions, if you use, you get maximum marks. Contact intensive service sectors, manufacturing sector, service sector, and contact intensive service sectors. Try to catch the phrases from a nearly, again to substantiate, from a nearly 13% year on year growth in August 2021. Thanks to a low COVID 19 lockdown hit base, the IIP growth has tapered off every passing month. There's one important word. Now he talks about something that is negative. The growth has tapered off. Taper off means what? Become thinner or narrower at one end. Initially wide or something positive, slowly it becomes narrow or it becomes negative, falls down. Then we say taper off. This also goes with interest. Some people they have a lot of interest initially, and slowly the interest tapers off. So in this context, it talks about the economy tapering off or the growth in the manufacturing sector tapering off. By September 2020, most of the lockdown restrictions had been eased. It goes back to 2020. By September 2020, most of the lockdown restrictions had been eased. So perhaps some labor force gaps and a shock to confidence and demand were the only hiccups for production managers. Manufacturing sector, the most important, if you talk about the manufacturing sector, the production managers, production is a key word. Obviously, production depends on production managers. This sentence talks about by September 2020, what happened? Most of the lockdown restrictions had been eased, means removed. So perhaps some labor force gaps. Here and there, they could not get the labor, gaps were there, and the shock to confidence and demand were the only hiccups for production managers. They were the only problems, minor setbacks for the production managers when it comes to manufacturing sector. It was believed that those hiccups had been largely overcome after the deadly second wave receded in 2021. 2020 deadly second wave. Now it talks about after the second wave. It was believed means what? It is not the actual thing, but it was believed. It was believed that those hiccups had been largely overcome. Means they could tackle those problems related to labor force gaps, and also problems related to confidence. And the third dimension, demand, largely overcome after the deadly second wave receded in 2021. So the second wave receded. Recede means what? To go back. Usually the word recede goes with water bodies and waves. The waves recede means they go back. If that were indeed the case, industrial output should have seen a sharper pickup. Had it really improved, based on that, the editorial says, if that were indeed the case, industrial output should have seen a sharper pickup in the last 4 months of 2021 than the mere 2.5% monthly average, particularly with festive season demand in play. We all know November, December, Jan, festive season. So it was to go up the last 4 months of 2021, but it was only 2.5% monthly average, particularly with festive season demand in play. Means there was no substantial growth. That is a different question to answer. Why government said positive and editorial said negative? That you have to read the editorial and decide on your own. You have to decide on your own whether the government is right or the editorial is right. But here, I'm not here to talk about the editorial stand. I'm not here to talk about the stand taken by the government. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to enrich your language proficiency. Only from proficiency point of view, I do the analysis. Imagine this is something related to I'm dealing with IAS aspirants. Analysis will be entirely different. I have to do my homework. I have to provide more information, and I have to take a stand whether government is right or editorial is right. And whatever stand I'm going to take, I have to justify. That's a different thing altogether. We are here only to enrich. I'm here only to enrich your language proficiency. But still, I appreciate that question. That's a good question. 2.5% monthly average, particularly with festive season demand in play. That January's GST collections hit a fresh record may suggest all is well. So, what happened in the month of January? GST collections hit a fresh record, new record, and obviously it seems positive. May suggest all is well, everything is fine, everything is perfect. But tax revenues also get bumped up. There's one phrasal verb. Bump up means what? to move to a higher level, position, rank, etc. It the GST collections hit a fresh record may suggest all is well, but look at the word but is used to express contrasting information. But tax revenues also get bumped up, means they go up by inflation, one thing, and quarterly filing options for smaller taxpayers, another reason. Moreover, GST revenues from imports of goods have been persistently rising faster than revenues from domestic transactions that include service imports. This sentence talks about there is something positive. What is that something positive? GST collections hit a fresh record. But the editorial says everything looks positive based on that. It may not be the same thing. There could be other reasons why the GST collections hit a fresh record. One of the reasons because of inflation. Another reason, quarterly filing options for smaller taxpayers. And the editorial talks about two more things. Moreover, additional information. GST revenues from imports of goods have been persistently rising faster than revenues from domestic transactions. That includes service imports. The third factor, service imports. What makes the trend even harder to decipher is the volatility in month on month IIP numbers. This is again more or less the same thing. Here, what makes the trend even harder to decipher? Decipher is an important word in the sense, usually we say decipher something. Code language means what? Decode. Convert into normal language. A code language converted into normal language, decoding or decipher. The volatility. You cannot decipher all this, means you cannot understand, you cannot make it clear. One of the reasons, volatility in month on month IIP numbers. Or you have already got the word volatile. Volatile means what? Not stable, changing quickly, literally evaporating quickly. But here, volatile means not firm, changing quickly. The economic survey for 21-22 seemed to be describing a different landscape when it stated that a nascent private investment recovery is expected to accelerate as private consumption will increase and raise capacity utilization levels. This talks about what the economic survey for 21-22 said. Seemed to be describing a different landscape, a different picture altogether, when it stated that a nascent private investment recovery is expected. There is one important word, nascent, means what? It goes with companies in this context, industries, organizations, just coming into existence and beginning to display signs of future potential. Someone or something that is new. In this context, industry, manufacturing sector, a few industries in the manufacturing sector, and have the potential. Nascent private investment recovery is expected to accelerate private consumption, will increase and raise capacity utilization levels. That is nothing but assumption. The RBI pegged, another important word, pegged, it has many meanings. In this context, pegged means expected to do or be something based on an assumption or stereotype or past behavior. Based on the past behavior or based on the stereotype means same model, you expect something to do something else or behave in a particular pattern. The RBI pegged capacity utilization in the second quarter of 21-22 at 68%, and this may not have inched up much in the third quarter, may not have gone up or might not have gone up in the third quarter. Economists believe the IIP print suggests that the budget's bet on a consumption and investment led recovery is on a weak footing. I think that is the last sentence, or we have more. So, economists, it talks about the opinion of economists. Economists believe the IIP print suggests that the budget's bet on a consumption and investment led recovery is on a weak footing. This is again an important expression. Your argument, your stand is on a weak footing or a strong footing. Means what? Your argument is not strong, your argument is not weak. But that is a standard expression, weak footing, strong footing. Now it talks about manufacturing actually shrank in December with capital goods reflecting investment activity, Contracting. Contract, what is opposite? Expand. Contracting by a sharp 4.6% from 2020 levels. Consumer durables saw a fourth consecutive month of contraction, all negative, while even non-durables tanked after a few months of incipient growth. There are two words over here. All these sentences talk about contraction. Contract means what? Positive or negative? It is negative. What is opposite? Expand. Expand means grow. In this context, contract, contraction, no growth, going back. And there are two words. One is tank. We all know the word tank is what? It's a noun. But here, water tank. But here it has been used as a verb. It has a different connotation altogether. Tank means what? A regular verb. Failed completely. Failed completely after a few months of insipid growth. Another important word, insipid, lacking flavor, weak or tasteless. In this context, weak, insipid growth, not strong growth, weak growth. With high commodity cost, cramping producers. Cramp, usually we use the expression muscle cramp. Then you cannot move. So cramping is nothing but in this context blocking, hindrance, hinder, impede. Blocking or impeding producers, consumers still in cautious mode, careful mode, and the threat of a steep fuel price hike looming after March 10th election results, the going is not likely to get smoother anytime soon. So it talks about the problems related to the producers and also the stand taken by the consumers or what exactly, how exactly they feel. With high commodity cost cramping producers, that's a problem, high commodity cost when it comes to manufacturing sector. Consumers still in cautious mode, another important expression. What is the meaning of the word cautious? Careful. And the threat of a steep fuel price hike, the threat of something, what is that? Steep means sharp. Fuel price hike looming after. Usually we say looming large. Looming means what? It goes with an event regarded as threatening, something negative, seem about to happen. Something is going to happen in the near future, something that is negative or threatening. Then we use the word looming. After March 10th election results, the going is not likely to get smoother anytime soon. So it is going to be difficult. How does the editorial end? That the central bank remains in growth accommodative mode while the world is changing gears to tackle inflation indicates its concern about the durability and quality of India's recovery. Its concern, it talks about the world. It's concerned about the durability and quality of India's recovery. So it is again reiterating the same idea. Everything looks positive, but in the real sense, it is not so. And the editorial stand is contrary to the stand taken by the government. How does the editorial end? The government must reboot its rose tinted assessment of the economy. It is sarcastic in the sense rose tinted. What does it mean? Excessively optimistic. Now, this is a stand taken by the editorial. How does it end? The government must reboot its rose tinted assessment of the economy so that the on paper optimism is reflected in billowing factory chimneys. On paper, optimistic, but it should be reflected in reality, practically. On paper, optimism is reflected in billowing. Billowing has many meanings. In this context, moving or flowing outwards with an undulating motion. If you take the manufacturing sector, the industries, traditional image, you have the chimneys, and from the chimneys, the smoke goes out. Any manufacturing sector, you have the chimneys and the smoke. So it talks about on paper optimism should be reflected in billowing factory chimneys. That means they have to get into the manufacturing production. Only then you can say economy is on the rise. That's all about this editorial. All of you do remember this or these sessions are usually, I tell repeatedly, these sessions are completely, not usually, focused on language proficiency, improving one's language proficiency. I do the analysis from that perspective, from that angle. And here we don't talk about whether the Hindu is right, the editorial is right. That is not the this is not the platform. So let us not. I'm just cautioning. Let us not get into those aspects. That's a different platform altogether. Here, focus on the sentence patterns, the phrases, the idioms, the phrasal verbs, the prepositional combinations, the vocabulary, grammar, and you will definitely improve. You will definitely improve your language proficiency. 200 grammar rules. I started an academy platform. Already I have taught 20 rules, 25, I suppose. And every day you can get the PDF. All that you have to do, go to an academy, download the learner app, attend every day 7:30 p.m. 200 grammar rules. After the session, you can download. You will get the PDF. You can access the PDF. What are the questions based on this editorial? What is this editorial about? Better you write, that helps in the long run. What appears to be hitting a roadblock, a dead end? What were the only hiccups for production managers? Or what were the only hiccups when it comes to the manufacturing sector? Tax revenues also get bumped up by what? It has given three different. Who says I don't take classes regularly? Please don't make general statements. I don't like. I have been regular, and this month only Saturday I did not take. Have told you guys already. I take Monday to Friday. I don't take on Saturdays and Sundays. Sometimes I feel editorial is important, then I take. Then I take on Saturdays. Kali, don't make general statements. Last month I was not well. We are not machines to take every day. Health issues, technical issues, sometimes we may not take. It doesn't mean that once we don't take, twice I don't take. You make a sweeping statement, be regular, take classes regularly. What are you talking about? Sheikh Kali, don't make those statements. Every editorial, I spend a lot of time, 4 to 5 hours. Same day editorial I have to bring every day. Be happy when you get something and try to see on the positive side. Do you think we are machines to take every day consistently? Sometimes we have health issues or important events, personal emergencies. Monday to Saturday, Monday to Friday. I told last month, Monday to Friday, I take regularly. Sometimes I don't take. I've been taking for the last 6 months. All my students know I'm known for punctuality and regularity. But last 2 months I was not well. Health issues. How do you expect me to take? Don't make these sweeping statements and while doing the analysis, not at all acceptable. Anyone who says I will not accept, do you think it is something you make statements just like that? Be regular, be punctual. What nonsense is this? Tax revenues also get bumped up by what? Please focus on keywords. What saw a fourth consecutive month of contraction? It is very easy to say, it is very difficult to do. No, last month also I saw a few students, sir, be regular. What is this? Be regular. Do you think I don't know to be regular? You have to tell me. You don't have to tell me to be regular, to be punctual. Now let us go to practice questions based on exam topics. Look at the parts. Look at the parts. There's a new pattern, but it's again error location. The need to set up a good library in the locality has been in the minds of people for some time now. A bit difficult. Try to read the sentence very carefully and try to spot the error. Thank you very much. Those who understand, I would like to thank those students. The need to set up a good library. No, no, let us not go into that. Please focus on the questions. Let us focus on the questions. The need to set up for some time now, there is no problem. This is a standard phrase, and we should use present perfect for some time now. We have to use present perfect tense. It is in present perfect, no problem here. For some time now, there is no problem. But there is an error in the third part. This is a bit difficult, so I'm giving the answer. What is wrong with the third part? It talks about the need to set up a good library in the locality. In the locality means something specific. It is something specific. Then we cannot say minds of people. We have to say minds of the people. In the minds of the people. The should be there before people. What is the reason? Specific. Specific, we have to say the people because it talks about a particular locality. That is the reason why the locality, the people. Very good. Bharat has got it right. I appreciate those who could think of that. Not an easy one. This is a difficult question. Now let us go to question number two. Most people would have attended the union meeting if they had had longer notice of it. Most people would have attended the union meeting if they had had longer notice of it. This is a very good question. Most people. What is wrong with the first part? Nothing wrong with the sentence. Whenever you see the word if, I have told you many a time you should become alert and you have to think of conditional sentences. But to decide which conditional, you have to look at the main clause. What is the main clause here? Would have attended. Most people, nothing wrong with that. Would have attended, that means it is a past conditional. Then you have to recollect the patterns. Past conditional, main clause we use would have attended, and if clause we use past perfect. Here had, that is past perfect, nothing wrong. Longer notice, perfect. The sentence is no error. Very good. I appreciate those who have chosen no error. And the sentence is in a past conditional. He took to reading times for better knowledge of the facts. This is based on a rule. You can say that also. Most people is also right. Most of the people. That is also right. Different phrases. Yes, Raghu, you asked me. I will do it. I will do it. Not today. I need to spend some time. I cannot do it off. It goes off the track. I will try to squeeze in some time, maybe tomorrow. I do remember you asked me once. This is the second time you're asking. Here, he took to reading times. Very good. Who is this? Nagamani. I appreciate that. There is one rule that goes with articles. What is that rule? The definite article the. The rule says before newspapers, before magazines, we have to use a definite article the. He took to reading, take to something means show interest in some activity. He took to reading, nothing wrong with that. Times is the name of a magazine. What is it? Magazine. Before a magazine, we have to use a definite article, the. The Times, the Indian Express, the Hindu, the Economist, the Week, the India Today. Newspapers and magazines, we have to use a definite article, the. So it is related to the rule that goes with the definite article, the. Subtle difference is there, not one and the same, subtle difference. Most and many, subtle difference. Have we got all the five questions? How come only three? Fourth one. When children have difficulty understanding a certain mathematical process, it is often because their teachers do not understand it conceptually themselves and do not present it in a way that children can understand. This is again not easy. What if someone does not? You have to know the rules. See, any question based on rules, obviously, if you know the rule, an easy question. If you don't know the rule, you cannot answer. Here, when children have difficulty understanding, some problem is here. Very good. Who is this Bharat? When children have difficulty in understanding, difficulty in doing something, difficulty in understanding, difficulty in going, difficulty in buying, we have to use a preposition in. In is missing. Based on that, first part is not correct. There is an error. When children have difficulty in understanding, then it is correct. Studies show that the lives of millions of mothers and their children could be saved if countries would invest in programs that ensures a healthy pregnancy and safe childbirth. And an easy one, a lengthy sentence, but easy to spot the error. Question number 5, easy, though it looks difficult. Yes, here we are talking about invest in programs, programs plural. Then you cannot say ensures, programs that ensure. If the subject is third person singular, only then present tense we should add s or es to the verb. But here the subject is plural. Then you cannot say ensures. It has to be programs that ensure. That's why I said it's an easy one. Now let us go to fillers. After much thought, Ted not to travel abroad this summer. This is based on grammar knowledge, based on contextual awareness. Very good. 4 out of 5. That's pretty good. You should be happy, Muni. Here, grammar knowledge. After much thought, Ted not to travel abroad this summer. Looks like it goes into the past. Based on that, concludes, resolves, comments, ruled out. It should be either resolved or past. Ted past does not make any sense. After much thought, Ted resolved not to travel abroad this summer. Not concludes, resolved. The verb should be in the past form. Why be? After much thought, Ted concludes not to travel. Ted resolved not to travel. Answer is the first option. You guys have chosen the second option. How come? Almost all. Oh, surprising. Concludes not to travel. You cannot use the word conclude here. Resolved. Resolved means what? He took a decision not to travel. Resolution, resolve, took a decision not to travel. Brian, that is an English name, Brian, is in his belief that the earth is flat. Tentative means not fixed. Second one is, I thought the first one easy for you guys, but anyhow, it happens. Past, here you should understand the context. That's what I say. Context, and what is important here, Contextual awareness. After much thought, he thought for a while or for a long time. Then he decided not to travel abroad this summer. Here, thank you very much. Wish you all the same. He decided not to travel abroad this summer. What is the word for take a firm decision? Resolution, resolve. And based on that, you have to use the word resolve based on the context. Only one word goes with the context, resolved. Conclusion does not go with this context. And resolves you cannot use. After much thought, Ted resolves not to travel. The context goes into the past. So, verb should be in the past. Past, it doesn't go with the context. Context is a king, that is right. So, tentative means what? Not fixed. For the time being, tentative schedule, not fixed. Beyond is. So, these words don't go with the context. What is the answer? D is the answer. E is confident. E is the answer. Have you chosen E? Yes. E is confident in his belief that the earth is flat. Confident in his belief. Perfect. I have been telling from day one, if you guys want to get very good score when it comes to English, make it a habit to read every day. Then you get exposed to a variety of contexts and you develop contextual awareness that helps in the long run. Out of 30, you may get 27, 28, 29. Sometimes you may get all correct. No, please, jokes apart, focus on the questions. The noodle maker was in making his noodles and would never let another person take over the task. Yes. Careless? No. Negligent? No. Exciting? No. Inattentive? We need a positive word and would never let another person take over the task. Cautious. The noodle maker was cautious means what? Careful in making his noodles and would never let another person take over the task. We are running out of time. Please respond quickly. If it were not for the circumstances, he would have certainly lost his job. He would have lost his job. That means you need something positive. This is again based on contextual awareness. When you read a sentence, you have to understand the context. That is very important. And one more thing, nowadays they're asking questions based on contexts, and not based on a few based on grammar rules, many based on contextual awareness, especially fillers, cloze test. They all depend on a passage, 5 questions based on vocabulary. They all depend on contextual awareness. Mitigating, very good. Mitigate means what? To lessen, to reduce the severity. Mitigate, alleviate, assuage, all these words. If it were not for the mitigating circumstances, he would have certainly lost his job. Contextual awareness, you can be very confident. Answer is the third option. When asked about her father, she lost her outward enthusiasm and became rather, lost her outward enthusiasm, one clue, and lost her and became rather, reduce, exactly. And what are the synonyms? Alleviate, reduce, assuage. What is the answer for the fifth one? We are running out of time. It's already 8:54. Initially, we lost 7 minutes because of the problem, technical glitch. Reserved. Expansive goes with areas, wide, broad areas. Talkative, opposite you need. Extrovert, no, opposite. Outgoing. All these are antonyms. You need the synonym. All these are opposite. You need the opposite means what? Reserved. Rather reserved means calm and quiet. Today's parajumble is from the Economist magazine. Maybe a little, to some extent, challenging. And do remember, banks usually they take from the Economist magazine. And last time, I don't remember, last month, a student said, particular exam, IBPS or SBI, they gave a particular article from the Economist magazine. This guy is really, I don't know what to say. Please focus on the para jumble. Four, good, that is really good. Five, all the five, very good, Ahmad. I appreciate. Please focus on the questions and try to enrich your knowledge, improve your language proficiency. Three is also good enough. What is the first one? This is not that easy. No, 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 not correct. No problem, nothing to worry. Try to improve. B is not the first one. No, no, no way. A is not the first one. No. Apsara has got it right. Oh, very good. Here, E is the first one. The parallels between roller coasters and financial markets are plentiful. In a roller coaster, it goes up and down. So the parallels between roller coasters and financial markets are plentiful. Both go up, both go down. EC. Then a mountain high climb is often followed by a stomach churning plunge. To substantiate this, to substantiate this, C. To substantiate this, B. ECB one group. And continuation of the thought. And on reaching the peak, some riders start to wonder whether they will make it off alive. The concluding sentence is the recent tumult means disturbance in stock markets has brought the fairground metaphors flooding back. The last one is A. So what is the correct order? ECBDA. That is the correct order. I don't know how many of you have got it right, but I appreciate all those who could get it right. ECBDA. That is the correct order. And do remember it is from the latest Economist magazine. Let us go to the last. We have only 2 minutes. Falter means what? You have to respond editorial vocabulary. Difficult to make out. Not that easy, but depends. 1E, losing strength or momentum. Very good. Flailing, swing wildly. I, resilience, toughness, only one word. That's right. Taper off, becoming thinner or narrower. Hiccups in this context. Hiccups means what? Initial hiccups, we say there's one important expression. Minor setback, plural setbacks. Decipher, decode, code language, decipher. Nascent, just coming into existence, a new organization, and has a potential to prosper. Pegged, expected to do. Tanked, failed completely. A new word, new meaning. Familiar word, new meaning. Insipid. Insipid means what? Weak or tasteless. One more meaning of insipid, lack of interest. Lack of interest. Or vigor, lack of vigor or interest. That's all for today. Hope you guys have got enriched. Have a nice day. I will see you guys tomorrow. Multitasking or focusing on one. Regarding what? Regarding what? It depends on your requirement. Multitasking, if you have a lot of things to do, obviously you have to depend on multitasking ability or skill. If you don't have to do many things every day, then fine, no issues. Do remember to subscribe and share. Join the Telegram group. You have to, after the video, after the session, go to the description of the video and click on the link. And no, I'm not, there was no time. Same as usual, evening 6, you have a topic related to prepositions, important prepositions. 7:30, 200 grammar rules, continuation. That will go for 1 month or 2 months.